comment though that it's premiere anywhere, and somebody had commented that it was like a hostess exclusive. So all I need to do is get it open.
Where'd you put them? You're like, come sit with us. You don't have a chair.
I'll sit up front. I know nobody likes to sit up front. Don't act like you need.
Okay, listen up, y'all. Welcome to training. Hey, raise your hands if it's your first time at training. Stop it. No. Mazel tov. I just want you to know that tonight may just scare you straight out of premiere. So, if that's the case, it wasn't my fault. Oh my gosh, I can't even listen to this song.
Sorry.
Okay. It's all serious now, but it's not, because we're going to play a game. So, I want to say welcome if this is your first time. My name's Christy Sutton, and I'm really glad that you're all here. I don't know why I'm standing. I just do not even like this thing. But we're going to play a really fun game that Lacey came up with, so if it's really horrible, then it's her fault. So, just saying, okay? Raise your hand if you're really good at rock, paper, scissors.
Lacey came up with this game.
This is going to be really awesome.
Apparently Lacey's good at it.
Okay, so everybody needs to find a partner. I'm going to tell you what to do as we go because we're going to get down to a champion rock, paper, scissors guy or girl. Okay, so everybody first has to just turn to a partner. And I'm going to call out rock, paper, scissors. So find your partner. Don't go yet. Don't go yet.
Need a partner.
Okay, raise your hand if you.
Up front.
Alright. Raise your hand if you do not have a partner.
Why is everyone wearing red?
Here, I'll play some partners. Here.
I don't have a partner. Here, I need a buddy.
Oh, Steph and Lacey. Anybody over here not have a partner? Oh, look at this. Like, perfect. Is there anybody else?
I don't know.
Your partner sit down?
up.
Oh, you can sit here. I'm not sitting. Here comes in the front row.
You and I, you're going down.
Okay, you can turn the music on. Okay, you ready? Hold on. So, I need to go over the rules because I'm also a rule follower. In a dream world, I'm a rule follower. When it comes to games, I do like to know the rules. So, okay, rock, paper, scissors, firecracker. Okay, so no, there are no firecrackers. It's only rock, paper, or scissors. So it's rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, that's how we play. So that's how you're gonna play. So everybody practice. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, that's
I already beat you.
okay, so you know how it works, right? Rock, paper,
Gotcha.
scissors. Alright, ready? So are we ready?
So you beat that
You're gonna best 2 out of 3 with your partner.
Yeah, because it covers
Ready? Alright, ready, go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Hey. Okay, y'all can go yourself. That's 2 out of 3. You're gonna be on their team now, and you're just gonna cheer them on. So find somebody with their hand up. If you are 2 hands up, now you will be battling. So you two will battle. We have to do like 2 hours.
means the other team has to line up.
Concentrate.
She won.
Oh, I won against Ethan.
She wasn't in my way. I'd be all over you. You got it? Hey.
Hold on. Hey, who over here doesn't have somebody to go?
Me, I guess, because I won against Ethan.
Okay, so if you're on her team, go down there to Jessica. All right, go.
Step on her toe. Step on her toe. Pick her nose.
Whose team are y'all on? Y'all should be cheering. You should be cheering.
What's up? What's up? Bring it. Bring it. Oh, you get around her. It's a tie. Oh, it's a tie. It's a tie.
I think you have to follow us. Come here.
We're following. We're losing.
Let's go, guys. And if this is your original team member, y'all cheer for her. This whole team is going to cheer for her. Okay.
You got the stiletto. We're going to give you the stiletto. You got the switchblade.
She lost her own game. I don't think I did good.
Okay, that's 2 out of 3. Let's go, girls. Oh, yeah.
Did Lisa not I mean, did Kristen get the red memo? I like that. That's classy.
Hey, Jenna. How are you? If this is your first time at training, I want you to stand up if you're at this section. If this is your first time at training, stand up for me. Everybody? Have you been here before? Tell everybody your name.
My name's Brittany.
Okay. Have you been here before? No. Oh, good.
The rules.
Here's your sign.
Give her on her toe.
Okay. Tell us, are you a new jeweler?
Yes,
Okay. And Stephanie drug you here.
she did.
How do you know her?
She's my hostess.
Okay. Woo! Okay. Well, we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right. Who else from this? Somebody from this side. It's your first time here. You don't have to stand up. But tell everybody your name.
I'm Steven.
Hey, Steven.
Which one was that? I couldn't tell who that was. Right here. Oh, there. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And only do Sharon. Yes. Tell everybody your name. You're not a jewelry lady yet, right? No, not yet. You're thinking about it. Okay. Y'all don't say anything crazy tonight. Okay, let's go over there. Did I miss anybody? No, right?
First timer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm David. I'm here with Megan. I'm the guy that stays in the room when all the parties are happening.
Okay, back row.
Stay in your room and don't come out.
Okay. You're not a jewelry lady yet.
We're in the process.
Oh wait, there's one more guy. Okay, so everybody's warmed up. Oh.
No, Jenna's husband.
She already did it. Oh my gosh. You were, was that eating?
Or texting.
You were eating while you were texting? I know that he is here appropriate, you can cut my music unless you want me to dance, and I can do that. But it may be inappropriate
So we
tonight.
saw it on YouTube.
What? Okay, so I am not wearing red tonight.
Because you're bringing awareness to.
Because I'm bringing awareness to the money.
Ah!
About the money.
It's about the
I
leprechaun.
totally forgot that it was actually a red day. So, next time I'll be better. Next year we'll try again. Actually, Valentine's Day is doesn't really mean a whole lot in our family because my son's birthday's on Valentine's Day, and so love. Well, that's not all about love. It's not about love. It's about Beckett. So anyway, we're gonna talk about taxes and your money and what you can write off and all that good stuff tonight. So everybody should have a paper that says Tax Talk without Bernie. That's what's happening. Have you seen that movie?
Can you tell them why? Christine, tell them
I'm
why.
just kidding. He's fine.
Horrible.
When did we know this? Because I lied.
I would be really stressing it. Sorry.
We just found out that Bernie is stuck in
Boston.
Boston.
We found out at like noon today.
Bernie and
If you were younger than 30, it went wet right over your head. Okay. So anyways. Jonathan and I are going to run kind of like a Q&A panel. We're trying to make this kind of fun because taxes and money is not fun to me at all.
just right on the chair.
Raise your hand if you've already done your taxes this year. What? Overachievers!
Who needs a
What are taxes? Raise your hand. She probably already got a refund too.
I do.
What's a
Raise your hand over
Now
here.
she's gonna find out she could have got more.
You get Y'all got what?
You
We
can eat the
claim
paper.
everything and everyone. Neighbors, kids.
Oh, and remember one.
We made 80,000 this year and got back 94,000.
Yeah, that's just
get a
yeah, we're gonna tax it. We don't have to use it in 1 year. We can spread it out. So we can save it. If we have 5 or 6 years on the road, didn't use it.
Really?
Can you explain why Bernie?
Hey, Carly.
Can I explain what?
Explain about Bernie and like.
You were not sitting there when I went around the room. I mean, just now you were, but.
And why was there gonna? What you're gonna tell them is actually true.
Okay.
Wait, I have an extra pen. Oh, you got yours with the answers.
Can we do this?
Yeah, go.
Okay, so this is based basically off of a talk Bernie did last year, and Bernie Skurkowski is his name. He's burned. That's probably
Right.
yeah. So if we don't get through this and this doesn't make sense to you guys, there is a video on our website of last year's training that
I don't
he
know
did.
why it wouldn't make sense. I mean, I'm usually crystal clear.
But Bernie is he's been a tax accountant for 28 years.
And he
I think
used
it
to work
was.
for the IRS.
He works for the IRS, and he's done a lot of direct sales companies. I mean, he's done a lot of people who do direct sales. He's done a lot of. He said he probably has about 200 premier customers. Who are.
And let me highlight, he does not get a kickback from anything we're saying tonight, but I will tell you, if you don't have someone that does your taxes, aside from your husband,
He's good.
I would highly, my husband has done her taxes for a long time until last year, and Bernie did them, and it's like $200-ish for him to do you just send him all of your paperwork, because he's in Tampa, and so I highly recommend that you do that. It's worth the $200 to send him everything. He will do all of it for you, and then he will send you back a check if you get one. Okay? Right, he will get it to you. Okay, so I'm just plugging him because he's really great to work with. He knows what he's doing. He knows the questions to ask.
He knows the industry, so I mean, he knows a lot about this home-based jewelry show-based business.
And what does he say about Premier?
Well, you can watch that video. But he basically says that Premier is, the one that will stick around. That
And then you can actually make money.
he basically says, he's talking to everybody. He says, you need to do this and this and this because you will be making a lot of money.
That's right.
And he's, but he just says that he's seen a lot of juju juice come and go. And
He actually does use that word.
but Premier's stuck around. So, he believes in Premier. Doesn't get a kickback for saying that. And we don't get a kickback for
15 years.
endorsing him. We need to work.
That'd be nice, like 10% commission.
Yeah.
All your purchases.
So,
We tried it.
number one, as a Premier jeweler, you now own your own what?
Business.
Well, who said that first? Wait! Christy's just randomly throwing candy.
I don't think I want to.
Oh, whoa!
Blammo! We might have a seizure.
That was a slider.
So you may not know that. If you got into Premier, you paid your $3.95 and you bought a kit, you may have thought you had a hobby, but actually you have your own business. The IRS considers you a sole proprietor, unless, of course, you go and do something else like incorporate or all that kind of thing. But don't, you don't worry about that. But so right now you are considered a sole proprietor to the IRS. What that means to you is you will file a Schedule C form along with your 1040, your regular 1040 on your where
You're
your
employed.
what's that?
Your 1040?
There's 1040 is the general, and then the Schedule C is the
Addendum.
yeah.
Can I interrupt Tax Talk really quick?
No.
Someone left their keys at registration desk.
Who wants to go home?
What color are they?
I'm serious.
No,
Oh,
those
wait,
aren't
and your
mine.
receipt.
Yep, that's pretty
She
much
didn't
after.
even drive.
Not after.
I'm here, okay? All that matters right now. And it was a close one.
Are those Lacey's keys? Because Lacey's are missing.
I know, I can't find mine either. Don't worry.
Yesterday.
2 days.
That's what I was talking about.
Okay, so sole proprietorship, it means it's basically a business. It means you are an individual that owns a business. You don't have any. You're not incorporated or anything like that. You're not a partnership. A partnership is a separate deal as well. None of us are going to use that as partnerships for our purposes. There is a chance that at some point you could incorporate. Bernie has told us that if at some point you reach to where basically you're getting a 1099 from Premier. A 1099 is basically what shows the amount of commission, the amount of gifts, or anything that you receive from Premier of value. That could be jewelry certificates, it could be trips, it could be anything like that. You will get that on your 1099. And if your 1099 gets to be more than $10,000 or something like that a year,
It's over 7.
it would be something, you need to look into it. It's just something, when you start, when your business starts growing that much, what that does is it helps you because self-employment tax is a large, it's about 15, you should probably be putting back about 15% for self-employment tax. And this, when you incorporate, that gets you out of self-employment tax, basically. And I'm sure there's other reasons too, but that's the one.
And Bernie will handle all of that.
Right. That's where you really need to definitely be looking into a tax professional. And I put that in the notes here. See a professional.
A tax very good.
Well,
Not with the tax.
that was assumed.
Not somebody spinning a sign.
Or a
Dressed like Sutton.
Okay, so one of the best things about
That was pretty.
it's the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, it's Liberty Chapter.
That was witty.
One of the best things about owning your own business is
Gotta make up for not having
are the deductions.
his wittiness.
Or we could say is the deduction.
I said it's the deductions.
It's right, because if you take out the presidential
What she said.
Cheryl, do all day.
I'm like lucky to get my punctuation.
So, let's see. So deductions. There's a lot of deductions that go along with having a home-based business. You will come to find that. This is what Bernie said last year. Most important rule about deductions is that they must look reasonable. Okay? It says pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. Don't be a hog. So basically, taxes are. There's a little bit of subjectivity, right? There's things that can be interpreted one way or interpreted another. So, what?
Sorry. Just think about bacon.
Call up 5 people who actually, like 5
have type A people.
You can't write off
and
mascara,
use an
y'all.
average
You
of
can't,
theirs.
yeah, you can't write off mascara.
So here's Bernie's rule actually. It's like always my rule of thumb when I'm thinking about what to write off and keep receipts for. If you can use this to make money for your business, you can write it off. Okay, so if you can use blank to make money for your business, you can use it as a write-off. Okay.
So yeah, let's give us some suggestions. We have a blank here. As a jeweler or business owner, I can deduct what?
Shout out some things that you think you can deduct.
Cell phone!
Cell phone bill.
Mileage.
Line!
My cell phone bill.
One at a time.
Line! L-I-O-N!
Lion? Yeah, you have to be there.
You weren't there.
Maybe y'all should tell us.
I don't want to know.
I'm
Okay.
going deaf over here.
So yeah, so things that you use for your business. Cell phone.
Yeah. Yes. Training.
Computers are good.
Driving to training. You pay for training somewhere, anywhere. Here.
School.
Jewel
Yes.
will be the extent is a deduction.
Regional rally parking.
Regional rally parking.
Exactly.
Jewelry samples.
Anything that occurs.
Yeah.
Your initial investment into Premier, if this is your first year as a jeweler.
So Bernie did do something like this
Your yearly.
last year. So for example, if you go on a family vacation to the beach this summer and you spend a week at Panama City with your family, and while you're there you have a jewelry party with your aunt because she lives down the street, can you write off your mileage going to Panama City?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you write off your mileage coming home?
Yes.
Can you write off your meals while you're there?
Yes.
Can you write off the meals for all your 5, 6 children?
No.
Thank you. So again, so that is a reasonable. Whenever you go on a trip,
They're gambling.
you're not gonna write off
They're
an entire week's expenses, just because you had one jewelry party. Okay, you can write off things while you're there. The food that you purchased for the show, you can write off. Food that you purchased for the like if you're purchasing appetizers for people to eat, things to drink, those kinds of things. Certainly, decorations, different things like that. You can write off a meal if you share the opportunity with somebody or talk about your business and what you're doing, okay? But every single meal with all of your family members, you cannot write that off, just simply because you had a jewelry party during that trip, yeah.
I thought that you couldn't write what you consumed, but you could write what the person you were doing the OP would consume.
You can't.
How did that work?
It's a percentage.
That comes into meals and entertainment.
Right.
Meals and entertainment, if you're using like Hood House or something or even most softwares, you put in the whole amount and they'll cut it to 50% for you. If you do it that way.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, basically, yeah, if it's considered meals and entertainment, then it's going to be 50%.
You can write off your own meal though.
Right.
But if you're buying food for the show, it's 100%.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
So
That's
if you buy your OP coffee, that's 100%.
Or if you're buying it for your downline at a meeting.
Because it supplies. Because like your
Gifts for your downline, jeweler gifts, those kinds of things. What else are you guys thinking? What comes to mind when you're like, oh, I don't know, can I write that off? Shannon?
Yes.
Back and forth about samples last year because samples are something that we use and sometimes we resell them. So we, in our family, we opted to just not write them off because we thought that was safer. So did Bernie advise specifically about samples last year?
I wrote them in my taxes. And Bernie took it as a sample purchase.
Okay. That makes
He's going to do that today.
Right. Right.
It is, but it's just like your finger machine, you can chalk it up the same.
No.
Well, it was inventory, there was a question.
No.
about,
Okay,
like,
so it's
the
not going to be. You
corporation.
do not want to make your jewelry inventory.
No.
You do not want to do that.
There will
That's
be a drop down box on those tax programs for like.
you don't want to get. You don't want to go there. It is a sample, and I would agree that it's a sample purchase. It's a sample that you're going to wear. But you're also marketing. I mean, it's all that into one.
You're using it to make money for your business.
Yes, you have an extra benefit because you get to wear it, but yeah, I mean it's integral to your show or to your business.
So internet came up. You can can write off a certain percentage of that. So when it comes to things
That's actually
like,
next on
like that.
the links here.
When it comes to
Wait,
stuff
oh,
like
can I suggest something else you can write off? Are your jeweler shares that you pay per show, so the $8 that you use to give a hostess the free jewelry, and the $6 per bonus that she earns, those are also tax
If
write-offs.
you don't have hood and house, you need to be keeping track of that
That's right.
somehow. If you do, it will automatically take care of that for you. So I would
That
recommend.
includes the hostess bonus share where they have like 46
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Show supplies or
So did y'all hear that? She's asking about the things that you buy off of the incentives website, catalogs, things off the incentive store, and so Jonathan.
yeah. There's hang on, where's my schedule sheet here?
Credit card fees.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
right here on the Schedule C. Actually, I have a.
So Shannon said credit card fees, like if you use Square, ProPay, something like that, they usually will print you off a report every year, and so make sure you just print that. That will be a lot of work. I don't know where it is.
So you can also do that. This is the Schedule C where you write down your expenses in the Schedule C, and it's got, the categories are advertising, car expenses, commission fees, blah 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 blah. You won't use any of those. Insurance, you won't use that. Legal professional fees, office expense, rent.
Most of our
Travel, meals, and entertainment, travel, deductible meals, I mean, it gets specific there, and utilities. And that's most of the categories. So I mean, in Hood and House, it calls it show supplies, but that all rounds up into this office expenses category.
So your home is considered an office and you can do some
Okay.
percentage of your utilities?
percentage of your house is considered.
Yes, and that's what, that was where we're gonna go next. So,
Oh, before we get to number 7 though, so it says on here, but not clothes, nails, and hair. I really tried last year to get Bernie to let me write off like a uniform, like if I wore the same dress to several shows.
if it doesn't say my name is,
That's right.
it's not
So,
a uniform.
If it's not embroidered.
I could do that.
Yeah, it's gotta be embroidered.
What about the Rockstar?
yes,
I
you
get
can.
Rockstar.
And then you can write off the embroidery.
I would argue.
Although the Rockstar jacket.
I would say the Rockstar jacket could be considered.
If you get
Bernie
it
will probably
embroidered.
say no, but
Cause it's
I don't
not
think
worth
he was
it.
gonna
Stay under
like.
office.
Some things just aren't worth it.
Exactly.
Getting audited
Yes, ma'am.
for.
My husband was a truck driver, so we've been deducting business type expenses like that. And what it says in the IRS booklet is if it's something that you buy that you can only use at your business versus you can use in your regular life. So my Rockstar jacket comes with me other places, so I wouldn't be able to.
Right,
So that's a good rule to follow. If it's strictly for your business and you can't use it for anything else.
And you don't want to wear your
advertising when you're wearing.
Since you're wearing it other places.
Can I throw one more comment in there about the
Please.
house, the house as a,
Okay, yeah, let's
Yep.
the
move on
house
next.
as an office kind of thing? My cousin is an accountant up in Michigan, and I previously did another, home-based business. And she highly advised me against doing that, because she said that for most people, the amount that you're getting back, it's a red flag apparently to
Right.
the IRS.
Well, there's a form.
Oh, so
and
there's, yeah.
the
In
form
other words,
is-
once you fill that form out, you are much, much more likely to get audited.
Yeah, and what's that, what do you call, what's that?
Yeah, I
form?
would
It-
advise.
He says it, do not fill out the form about your home-based business and your office and your square footage.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Call Bernie.
Right, so instead of doing that, you're gonna do your different expenses, such as your internet and your cell phone and your, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And your
Yeah.
utilities, okay? So Bernie's recommendation was, so internet, for instance, okay? You're working at home, 70 to 80% of your internet is probably a reasonable number to write off, okay?
70 to 80.
Now, utility bill, that's, that's probably a little different. He said 20% of that. Okay, because you got, that's 24 hours a day, that's,
And if you're having, like, if you have hold staple cells in your
Oh,
home, or do OPs in your home and things like that, then you're probably using it.
right. Well, I forgot, he said that the 20% number was just the number that the
What it
IRS has
gets
kind of
like,
accepted,
right.
yeah.
Well, if you have a lot of shows though, you can put the number of shows a month and they would that.
The
I
number of
don't
show-
think there's a place for that.
No, I mean,
You could just,
you
you
have
just
to,
increase your percentage, but you would need to be able to show
right,
that
you have to be able to
were-
kind of come up with a percentage of, your percentage of time per year.
That would be like 2 shows. If you're having more than 2 shows a week in your home, then I can say you could increase from the 20%. But unless you're having more than 2 shows a week in your home, I would just leave the 20.
And then we have cell phones. 60 to 70% is pretty accurate. Unless you're Afton, who's got 50,000 people.
So is this like I consider how much my cell phone bill is for the year, and I put 60% of
Probably
it
awful
into the
deal.
number?
So,
Or do I put
yes and no.
total
We
bill
have
and
4
pay
months.
fee?
That'd be a lot.
No, there's not a.
That'd be awesome.
Now, if you gave it to a tax professional and that's what they were going to, I mean, they would do that for you. Yeah.
Okay, so what am I just figure out the percentage, and that's what I plug in. Okay.
That's not the high percent.
Yeah, like on my family plan.
You don't think so?
Well, I mean, all my people, if they're Verizon, they're free.
It would be, it's almost 70.
Doesn't matter, you're still paying a monthly cell phone
You're paying a
bill.
monthly fee for that.
You didn't have that,
Free
you wouldn't be able to
service.
talk to them.
It'd be a quarter call like when we were kids.
But you have to remember, you have a cell phone, and you have it, a lot of us are in plans with other people, right? So you have to figure your portion of that, and then the percentage of that. It's true. You play, you know, well, I mean, yeah, you would take 6 months of bills, and then the percentage.
Oh, by the way, she can go back.
All right, anything else on house, office
And so,
stuff?
someone asked if you can deduct what you pay if you do choose to like hire out a tax professional like Bernie. You can deduct that $200 the next year as part of your tax services. So
Number 8.
Number 8, auto expenses can be tracked as expense or by using a mileage log or the mileage rate. Does anybody know what the mileage rate is for 2015?
57.5.
What is it? It's not listed on Hooded House right now.
2015, I'm going ahead of it. 2015 is 57.5.
It's on Hood House.
Dang, it's going up.
it keeps going up.
Yep, and honestly though, with the way prices have been this year, I wouldn't be shocked if they made an adjustment this year. Last year was 56.
Oh, man.
He said,
The taxes you're filing now, it should be 56 cents a mile.
again.
So this, if we're gonna,
Wait, so what is the rate there, the 11? What is the rate that we're using?
Okay, so the taxes that you're filing now is 56 cents a mile for 2014. So, but the coming year is going to be 57.5 unless they say they change it.
and there's always a discrepancy. Like, oh, I write off my gas when I put it in my car. I can write off my what's it called?
Tires.
Maintenance.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so that and if you want to try to figure that out, try what you actually spent on your vehicle every year. I mean, I
Don't do it. Use your mileage.
use mileage.
Yeah, you're gonna
I
do
mean,
much better.
it's going to be much more.
Especially at 57 cents a mile.
Your part, your face.
2 miles over.
And then so the other question comes in for people as far as like, do you need to track every single mile, do you need an odometer beginning, an
Question number
odometer
10.
ending? I'm always like one step ahead of you.
Okay, so the IRS rules say that you have to keep a mileage log and you need a description of the activity. Okay, so I went from home to here for training and back, so the miles for that was 20 miles-ish. But I'll find out exactly what that was. Ish, right?
Except ish.
No, they don't. So if you're, okay, number 11, if you're using actual expenses for your auto expenses, actual auto expenses, you have to log mileage and blank odometer readings. So you have to actually put the mileage in. You have to log the actual odometer readings, so you can differentiate between personal and business. But if you're using the mileage rate, you only have to log the mileage. Does that make sense?
They still differentiate it though. They asked you at the beginning what your mileage was.
It doesn't matter though.
He asked.
Well, then
Who asked, Bernie or the IRS?
you take your total and you subtract your
Right, that's all he asked. So just make sure at the beginning of the year you write down where you started.
So there are a few different ways to do that. It just depends on what your personality type is. I
There's only
am,
one right way. Go ahead.
mine's the right way, so if you want to be right, follow me. This is probably more of a type A kind of thing because administration is not my spiritual gift. In case you were questioning that. So I actually do log like every trip. This stays on a clipboard right beside my chair in both vans because I drive. You can write off mileage for 2 different vehicles. Okay. And so I just write like tonight, 2.9 training, 1,000 whatever, and then when I get home, I write it down. For me, that's the easiest way to do this. I can like, estimate. Some people will go back at the end of the month and they'll look at how far it was from your house to the hostess's house and they'll put in those miles. But this for me, keeping it up to date is much easier just in the car. Yes.
There's a really good app for it too. And I do mine for real estate. It's called My IQ. And it just, so anytime you have your cell phone with you, it tracks you, and then at the end of the day, you just swipe left or right for personal visits. And it's amazing.
What is that called?
Okay, did
Lacey,
you
you
hear
hear that?
Share it again.
She needs that.
So there's this really great app that I use. It's called
See, I've just been stalking my wife to get mileage.
Check my husband. too.
Mile IQ.
I'm so bad.
And anytime you have your cell phone with you, it tracks where you go.
Mile IQ.
At the end, you just have to swipe. Now y'all are killing me. Swipe left or right.
Can you turn around so we can see you?
She's like, I wish I wouldn't have even shared.
So mileage IQ, you said?
Yeah,
Or
Mile IQ.
Mile IQ. That sounds good.
Is it free?
It's free for like so many drives, but you're
And then
gonna end up
it's
having to
$200.
pay. It's like $60 a year.
So don't
But
drive.
it's really good for
Write that
people who
off.
don't like to write stuff down. To just
A lot cheaper.
You just can
It's about
go
$1 notebook.
write it down. So.
Yeah, but if your wife doesn't like to write in a $1 notebook,
Yeah.
You can actually set up your iPhone.
I did think
every
about that yesterday.
time you leave the house, it reminds you to
it
write
does.
mileage.
Yeah.
Your iPhone, you can set your iPhone to when you leave your house, it'll remind you.
Well, and
to write
listen,
mileage.
even if you're like, I'm just going a mile down the road or 2 miles down the road, at 57 cents a mile, that's
I have to be at
$1.14.
your house to do it.
So you want to make sure you keep track of that. 2 miles.
I mean,
And I
every
just
time
added
you
that.
leave, it's gonna-
You did. I'm so
$1 here and $1 there. I think last year which we drive a lot, but we wrote off like $12,000 in mileage because we kept track of it. So you need to keep track of it. It's important.
Insane.
And when you just like do something for your business every time you go out. I'm just saying.
I don't know about y'all, but we do.
Like go by the post office.
Go to the
Buy a
bank.
stamp.
The bank.
Just go to the bank, baby.
Go talk on your phone while you drive around.
There's always something I need for Premier from Walmart.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I drove to Walmart and I texted a customer.
Did not hear that from us.
Okay. So all deductions, that should have been plural, all deductions must be written off in the year that they were paid.
Hey.
Not necessarily incurred, but paid.
If you didn't pay it in 2014, you cannot write it off. In 2015.
If you did it in 2014, you cannot write it off in 2016 or 15. Or pay for it in 2014, you can't write it in 2015. Any questions on that? No? And we go on. Receipts and supporting documents have to be kept for
7 years.
7 years.
7 years. That's why my attic is so full. That and baby clothes.
In my attic.
And your
Fair tax. Fair.
Yeah, right?
Picket sign. I mean, blind.
We recommend that you use a tax professional.
Bernie.
So turbo tax, you're going to be guessing. And I've done that myself several
Oh
times.
God, turbo.
H&R Block, those guys are
They're really
fine,
expensive.
but they don't know.
Dude, they hire like anybody.
And Bernie is
for
so
taxes.
smart.
And he's really funny.
Because he has that last.
I mean, they'd hire.
And when you wait till the end of the year to file your, or the end of the last
If
minute
you
to file
wait
your
like till
taxes,
April 2nd,
he'll file an extension for you.
and then you'll get it back in November.
know.
We didn't get ours back in November. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, so basically, somebody, and it doesn't, who cares if it's Bernie or whatever, but you need to have someone you know, that you trust, that knows you and what you are doing.
His number? You want his number?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
No one did.
8675.
Never mind.
We can look it up.
Oh.
867 is like a.
Oh.
Called it one time. Like, so he has 867 numbers.
It was a long time ago, but literally their voicemail said something about
Listen,
Jimmy.
if y'all text me or call, or yeah, really text me, and I don't know who you are, I say, who is this? It's because my phone keeps erasing contact.
Any of y'all have questions about the whole 1099 stuff?
Oh, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, we're married. Do we file like married but separately so that I can do everything separate with the business?
No, you wouldn't
or-
file separate. No, you still file married jointly.
It's not going to be like a big
It's
mess.
just like having numerous.
No, you're filing a
W-2s.
separate form for that other income. So instead of having this is my employment income, 1099 or whatever it is you get, W-2, whatever it is.
6 jobs.
Yeah, so you're gonna have it's just another.
that's me.
The Schedule C basically is taking place of one of those W-2s.
Gotcha.
W-2, right? Yeah, I haven't gotten one yet.
Right?
The 1099s are they online? Because I think I got
1099s
one
are
in the mail. I
online.
think.
If you go to Jewel Resources,
I just
your
got mine.
business, tax information.
Wait, you gotta slow down.
Yeah, sorry.
Jeweler Resources.
Your business, tax information,
Correct.
and then there's 3 options there. I think it's just income tax is the one,
Okay.
and it's not obvious, but anyway, there's a little link to it on the bottom of that page. It
Okay.
looks like this page.
If you did not receive more than $600 in gifts or bonuses or commissions from Premier in the year 2014, then you will not get one in the mail. You can print off still details online, but if you did get over $600, they will mail you one. I just got mine today. So
If you did not make $600, you're still required to file that.
I got one.
Or liable to file that.
we all went up again.
Right.
Reprint.
Yes? Any questions?
I can't pick up any
Comments?
cellular data here. Do you have his number?
I have it.
You can turn the Wi-Fi on.
There's Wi-Fi in the building.
There he is.
And I know
Okay.
there's quite a few of us who use Bernie in here, and I'm just gonna
It's
tell
right
you,
here.
before we used Bernie,
Christy.
he did like TurboTax and stuff, and he would
It
do
was
stuff.
good.
Christy?
Stop.
And we thought
That's the
that
number.
first year we thought that we were gonna owe like $12,000 in taxes,
Oh.
and Bernie got it down to 3. He's a miracle worker.
He's so
He's
unethical.
I mean,
No.
he does it right. He's awesome.
not gonna owe money.
I have a question.
A lot
though.
of
So do
these-
you guys? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
A lot of these people in this room are not gonna owe money.
No.
It's not, don't panic.
So, yeah,
That would freak me out if it was like.
Oh, sorry. I mean,
So this is something else he talked about last year. In your, if you're in your first couple of years in Premier,
Have you paid yet?
you are hopefully going to show a loss
Didn't really have to pay.
because of the amount of deductions and everything you're gonna have. You're
Never got a refund.
you're not getting a commission income. So the jewelry show income versus the amount of expenses or deductions, not expenses, your taxes should show a negative.
So do you guys?
That make sense?
You guys, do y'all not pay your taxes until the end, or do you pay along? You guys pay along.
So
That's a
we
complicated
actually
question.
incorporated.
That's next year.
Right.
And we actually have a monthly. We actually pay ourselves
Monthly. Okay.
and that's how.
and that's what Bernie was saying. Once your commissions on your 1099 from Premier are reaching somewhere between 7 and 10,000, that's when you do need to think about incorporating for self-employment reasons,
Right.
which is what you need to do because your other thing.
Yeah, we're an LLC,
Well, an LLC doesn't.
but we pay in. But I was just curious for this.
I'm just saying. Here's something Bernie would say. An LLC is formed by lawyers. Schedule C. I mean, not Schedule C. An S corp is formed by a tax accountant.
Do you want to be a?
I don't know what all that means.
That means that
It's similar, just.
an LLC keeps you from liability.
Right.
A schedule.
You might.
We might need that.
S corp helps you with self-employment taxes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you Bernie's number real quick. He works for, or his company is called BSK Financial. It's in Tampa or Roots. But his number is 813-758-2279. 813-758-2279. BSK Financial. If you lose that, you can find him online.
Okay, so who in here has Quinn House? Wow. Quinn House is it's gonna be important for you. Or helpful for you. I'm not gonna go through like the whole demonstration here or anything, but I mean, you have the ability to put in orders.
You're in front of the TV.
Well, I can't put this thing anywhere else. You have the ability to put in your orders. You track them there. You have the ability to have, this is your customer database. And I mean, this thing is, you
We
know,
actually
from,
are doing a lot of that in March.
this is 6 years worth of customers. So you do that, I mean, and then there's other tools about like the bookings and the other stuff. Anyway, but we're worried about, I can't find the cursor on the screen.
I would pay like, listen, I would pay like $400 a year for this house. I kid you not, y'all.
Me too.
If you don't have it, your eyes will be unveiled.
So what we're concerned with tonight is taxes and everything like that. So this is where you have the option to enter your expenses, where they're tracked. You'll see that. But and oh yeah, you can do the mileage from straight from there. That's one cool feature that this has. So okay, that's the other option I was going to mention about with mileage. Not your only option isn't just the book, but that's what I would recommend. So if you do the book, you don't really need to do this. But if for some reason you're not going to do that, all right. So you can take, hey, I went to Office Depot. Here's my mileage log from when I went to Office Depot. The mileage, you know, you could say, look up the mileage from home to Office Depot, and that's where you would enter it. No, I do not. You should save those changes. Okay, so you can enter your expenses and you can enter your mileage into the house.
Hey, go pull it up like the report. So if you
Right.
did use a tax guy and you need to send him information, then all you have to do is print off a report and give it to your husband or yourself.
Oh, so you can choose like the time period, so it doesn't like wipe it out every year or whatever.
And you can enter dates, and it, like Jonathan's doing, and it will just pull up a really pretty sheet, and that's what you send to your tax guy.
And so this, and if you look at this and touch with your Schedule C, these numbers here correspond to the Schedule C, and this tells you. So number 8 is advertising, boom, right there. 10 is commission and fees, right there. You know, so and so and so on and so on.
That's cool.
1,000 meals and entertainment. It's got the A and B. So yeah, I mean this does so much for you.
I checked that.
Does the 1099 number go into this at all, or do we do that?
You'd have to manually do that. But you can put it in as a, I think there's a category for that. But it would go in under other income basically. Yeah. But yeah, you would have to enter that in. And I mean, I never do. I mean, I print this out and hand you my 1099 and he'll add it up. Or if I was doing TurboTax, I had this and then I had that.
Aren't y'all excited to go home and
Man, this is so fun! What else are we going to go over? A lot of people always have questions about what category do I put blank in.
just pick one. Just randomly, like.
Just randomly pick one, right. So,
Throw darts at it.
let's see. Here is the chart of accounts in Hood and House. Okay, it gets pretty, pretty explicit. I mean, Descriptive, thank you. Explicit.
He doesn't have a lot of words.
Maxed out my word count. But you can take this, and this also has the tax line number. And if you're interested, you can have a Schedule C here beside you, and you can figure this out. It corresponds to what? Okay. This is how I normally do it, or I just guess. But I mean, for our purposes, most things are going to go into office expenses. That's your everyday fee, little purchases are going to be like office expenses. Or meals and entertainment. Yeah? Any questions?
She was supposed to be.
Nikki has a question.
Okay, so you said like the first year typically show loss.
Yes.
At what point does that, okay, maybe the second.
He said year 3, I think is a good.
So and something to not be worried about, but something to be thinking about at some point is the IRS does after, let's see, if it's if you have 3 out of 5 years, you have a loss. At some point, they say, well, you are not. This isn't a small business anymore. This is a hobby, right? And so you can actually lose the benefit to do all this deductions and stuff.
So by paper, you should actually be showing a not a loss. That would be
A not a loss. A not a loss.
Gosh, you're stuck in my brain. You're stuck in my words.
Yes? Any more? Christy turned off the air conditioner.
What about the replacement exchange fees?
Replacement exchange fees. They would
You
go.
cover
I put
that.
that under repair.
Is there a repair item on home?
Yeah, there's a
Maintenance.
repairs and maintenance and
Thank
then
you.
returns and allowances.
You're welcome.
I feel like returns and allowances is like if somebody was to want to refund. That's what
Yeah,
I
if you're refunding money, it's returned. But yeah, I mean, I would say any of those would be fine. The jeweler fee or the
She earned an office supplies.
exchange fees.
I put a lot of stuff in there.
replacement exchange.
Replacement exchange, I put it under, what's my option?
There's returns and allowances.
Premier,
I mean, it actually helps you because it tells you what to search for.
I feel like I put it under jeweler fees.
Oh, replacement exchange fees.
Everybody does it for
I put all that stuff under jeweler fees.
Replacement exchange fees. There's a
Where's the jeweler?
there's a
Oh,
replacement
there is
exchange.
a replacement.
I'll fix that this
It
year.
all, it goes to 21, which is
I'll do it this year.
Isn't that the same?
repairs and maintenance. Okay.
Crap.
But where does jeweler fees go under?
Repairs and maintenance.
No, that's returning it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which
Professional
one?
fees, maybe that's what I put it under.
Which fee are you talking about?
I only use like 3 categories.
I don't see professional.
So
I never saw a
Keep it
replacement
simple.
exchange fee.
It's all like professional.
I mean, come on, guys. I mean, these things all add up to another number.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't put your.
Yeah, I'm not going back and fixing mine.
It's 7 to 14 is 21. I'll go back.
But they're all
The important things are like the meals and entertainment. They do get half.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, so.
Yeah, if you're doing depreciation, that'd be.
We can deduct $5 for training, but can we deduct the tickets if you buy to win the stuff when we come everyone?
He said it rolled up in here though.
My receipt says $10. It doesn't say what it's
That's
for.
a great question.
Well, because your receipt just says
My receipt
what
says
you
$10.
gave, so.
It doesn't say I bought raffle
That's
tickets.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
She
We
did
did
send
that
it,
on
like, right off the
purpose.
snap.
It's gonna total up to be like less than $100 a year, so I would just put it all under training fees.
Yeah. I mean, for our purposes,
They
it's
have
all,
those little
it
receipts.
all goes towards.
If that is unethical.
And that's why we give you a receipt, because if you were audited, you would want to have your receipt.
Can you write me about 12 of them up real fast?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he never gave me one.
I always lose mine.
Go get that book real quick.
And Tracy, did I tell you I'll write you one too?
My own time.
I told you. I don't want that anymore.
It's pretty much a power source. There's a guitar in there somewhere. If you square, then you square these. So if you have these.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can do a search transaction and all this there.
Right. So basically what she's saying is your like you have your jeweler reward card and you have like a Square account, things like that.
Okay.
These things have you can always go to their
Search
website or something like that, and you can find out your totals for the year. Basically what we're talking about. So Square, you want to total up the amount of fees you paid in a year.
And don't fall off of your chair. If you
Don't
are
fall
not
off your
keeping up with
chair.
that, it will be high.
What will be on?
Your credit card, your Square fees, your credit card fees.
Yeah, see, I don't enter those.
You'd be like,
I don't
whoa!
enter those every day. I mean,
Everybody should write a check.
every show I don't enter the Square fees. I wait till the end of the year, total them up, and that's one number. Your jeweler reward card, she was telling, they have an itemized thing where you can tell what you paid at what store or for jewelry or for whatever. Who here has a separate checking account for their business? That Lacey does. She just has it. So yeah, so it doesn't have to be a business account, but it's very, very highly recommended that you have a separate account.
At a separate bank.
At a separate bank.
That's sorry.
The rule at Christie's
That's
house.
just
Let's say it gives me cards, debit cards, all of the same. I have 3 of them.
See that? I'm not kidding
That's a
y'all. I
problem.
do tell her, like, I think at a separate bank is a great idea.
Well, and they're like, you can come in and get a personalized card. I'm like,
Then you can't embezzle funds from yourself.
Hey now.
yeah. But, oh, sorry, I forgot she's here.
Wait,
I love it. It's awesome.
What?
I have 4 cards and I have 2 blue and 2 silver.
Okay, any other questions?
Put them back in little sleep and take weapons out.
Any other things? Anybody else? We're gonna leave and just not talk about this ever again because it's.
Thank goodness.
I hate this. It gives me hives.
Okay.
Okay, Chrissy's next.
And now I've been clicking the wrong button.
Good job, honey. Good job. Jonathan hates talking in front of people. Y'all give him a hand.
Johnson.
I didn't hear you.
Bring that big order.
What are you doing with that board? Oh my gosh.
Where are the tickets?
Where are the tickets?
Oh, she said.
Here you go. Thank you. Cheryl. Thank you.
I said almost would be great, but.
Extra point. Do like calendar and look at you guys.
God, Camo's sexy.
Okay, we're gonna do calendar catch up, but first I'm gonna draw it.
Like you're still in camera.
These cute little things away, and you can keep all of your receipts for this year in, and I just like chunk these into a bin when I'm done. So yeah.
That holds all your receipts for a year. Oh wait,
That's just not what my receipts.
Okay, who has 431367?
Oh wait, what?
431.
Not how you do it, son.
No. Listen. Not nearly as exciting as
No, she already has it.
I know.
You want to let us?
What about your baby?
494.
What?
494. 494. 494.
One at a time.
Hang on there a minute.
She gone.
No, she already had something. She already had it. Who has 494?
She may have it because I'm 492.
Oh my gosh.
You're a horrible drawer.
She's a horrible winner.
Woo! I'm so excited.
I dropped it back in.
She claimed out a 2015 taxes as a gift.
That's right. $1.
Someone who actually files their.
Okay, so listen, calendar catch up. I don't have my calendar.
Quiet.
Give it to your baby.
Extensions are so much more fun. Actually, I do.
Okay, it's February 9th, not February 8th, like Cam wanted you to believe. Night. Okay, so who has a jewelry party on their calendar this week?
Woo!
Who has one on Friday the 13th?
Woo!
That's going to be too.
I'm dressing up.
Okay, so
Ready.
Monday is no school if you have children in public schools.
Ready.
Don't send them.
Oh, I thought that was today.
Oh my word. Stop it. What is next Friday night, February 20th?
Valentine's Day.
Girls' night out.
Girls' night.
It is, please do not. It's not Valentine's Day.
You said next Friday.
Okay.
I don't know.
So listen, next Friday night, February 20th, is Premier Girls Night Out. Boys, you are not allowed to come. It's only women, so stay home and nurse your baby.
Oh, we'll nurse my baby.
And
Where's it at?
Scott, we're not so much.
What? 19, Scott.
And we are going
We are going
Surprise!
bowling.
Okay.
Really?
Cheryl is
Trust me, if you've never been bowling with Lacey, it is an experience and you don't want to miss
That's
it.
what it
It's a
is.
bowling hat, actually.
It's almost as good as karaoke.
Oh,
Hey, if you go to that one, they have karaoke there.
And laser tag.
That's the
okay,
only one.
so keep an eye out on the Facebook page
Alex has to close down?
or email for more details about February 20th, okay?
One down, one on.
What happens on February 23rd, Lacey?
Those business concept?
Fun to share.
Okay, what time does Fun to Share start now?
7.
What is Fun share.
Dessert.
Afton?
It's a fun time to share.
Gluten-free snacks.
Oh gosh.
You give people sweet desserts and then they can't help but sign up in Premiere.
Okay.
That's your
You want sugar high and that's how you
Right.
That's right. Okay, so Frontiers are now only happening from 7 to 8 p.m. So bring a friend.
Bring somebody.
The only requirement is that they not be a
I'll bring
jeweler.
food.
And then you can have some brownies. Or okay. So that's 7 o'clock at Lacey's
I'll share
house,
food.
Monday the 23rd. And then what is happening on Friday, February 27th? February is like a very
Trip deadline.
It is. So if you are a designer or you are wanting to become a designer really quickly, there's still plenty of time. If you want to go to Canada, then this is your last day. February 27th is the last day to have qualifying and submit qualifying shows to earn points. Okay.
I wonder if they're gonna change that because of the end of the month.
Probably.
Probably. Never mind.
Well, no.
Saturday.
It's only one more day.
Yeah, but they'll want to
Tell all of your hostesses the end of the accounting period is Thursday the 26th.
That's
and
right.
everyone will close on time.
Oh yeah, okay, speaking of that, I talked to someone today from Premier about if you receive a commission check from Premier, then those CV reports are now going to be made available on the 7th of every month. You will still...
Right.
What?
So the way it used to be was
First Friday.
the first Friday following the end of the accounting period, you could see your commission, your CV statement, whatever. But now it will, since the last day of the accounting period falls on the last day of the month, then the 7th of every month you'll be able to see your CV report online, and then you'll still get.
So it's technically still the same. It's just the end of the month has changed. Does that make sense?
Just nod your head.
Just say yes.
Say that.
No, it actually doesn't make sense.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
You can see it online
It used to
on the
always
7th.
end on the accounting period used to always end on a Friday, and then it was 7 days later, which
All
is
right,
Friday.
fine. That's enough.
Okay, you're getting all numbers on me. Okay.
Sorry.
Stop. Okay, so that's all for February, unless anybody has anything else exciting, like a birthday.
Hey, I'll be sending out an email or posting on the Facebook group
Not me.
too about girls' night details.
I
G&O.
said that you were texting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jonathan's putting together a guys' night for us.
Yes, that will happen.
That you'll have to bring your nursing baby brother.
I've talked to Todd.
Okay, because your wife will be having a party.
I've been telling him that.
Okay, in March, what's happening? Nothing fun?
St. Patrick's Day.
Joy of Leadership.
Oh my gosh, Joy of
Jewel
Leadership.
School.
So, do you
April.
Who, like, raise your hand if you went to the Joy of Leadership last year in Orlando. Shannon, tell us about the Joy of Leadership.
It was great.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That was amazing.
We are quite the bunch.
Jonathan sang a song. I forgot the words.
And I had them in front of you.
Whatever, no one knew.
Okay, so
Because I was DJing.
tell us, Shannon, what it is exactly. Stand up and tell everyone.
Okay, I was not going to tell you what it is, but I was going to tell you just that it was a really great day of training. It was more like, if you went to a regional rally, it was just a much more intimate group. And so it was great to connect with other jewelers and
Can just anybody go?
or
Pretty
people
much.
who have sponsored.
Yes,
You
that's
have
right.
to have sponsored at least one person ever in your whole life, really.
Ever in your whole life.
I mean, pretty much. Yeah, if you've ever sponsored, you can
Or if you want the sponsor.
It's really good leadership specific training.
So it's day leadership. You can do it. Okay? So that's just so you know, it's a one-day event and it's on Saturday, March 7th.
So in Atlanta,
There are two. It depends on what city you're in. Orlando is the 7th.
And we'll just be driving down like caravanning. Y'all.
There will be a van caravan going.
Yeah, listen. We'll just be driving down and then driving back. So like no spending the night unless you want to. And there'll be like small group breakout sessions and stuff like that, like depending on what level you are, kind of where you are in Premier and things like that. So it's really good.
Having the wardrobe.
So be there. Go register.
Okay. So So what else is happening in March? Spring break. Woo! Okay. Nobody else is going to
You go to April.
April.
Go.
Oh, the accountant. Oh, when is the training next? March 9th.
Just like a nerd.
Oh, on the ninth.
Fun to share, March 23rd.
Christmas is
And Jewel School. Oh my word, y'all.
John
Drapers are coming. Woo!
Who are the Drapers?
Why was the business head up to tell us?
They're like,
Drapers,
they're the most fun people ever.
So you can sign up for Jewel on the Rockstars.net website, or there's a link on Facebook.
The link is rockstarjewelschool.eventbrite.com.
Okay.
I will put that on the website.
It's $25 for you and
15 for your spouse, or 15 for a guest. We will be doing an OP at the end of the day. So if you have a guest that would like to come, but not come and do lunch and stuff, but they want to come like towards the end of the day, that's no charge.
they would want to come hear the Drapers just because it's
They're awesome.
Drapers.
Can I just say something for new people, like who might not get it?
No.
The Drapers, it's a big deal. It's a really, really big deal that they're going to be here. And now the ticket sales are open up for like all the jewelers. And how many everywhere in the world? Like we were packed out last training, so you need to hurry up and get your ticket because once
We've
there's no
sold
more
120
seats.
tickets already.
Okay, and like it was just Rockstar Week. So if you haven't gotten your ticket, like go get your ticket, or you're gonna be really upset when someone who's not even on our team has a seat and you don't.
I haven't been.
Okay, so Stephanie Whitehurst. Oh, wait a minute. You have your ticket report.
Yay!
Y'all need to wake up. Okay, that was really, really painful. And I can't endure it anymore. Okay, because we're running out of time, right? Are we behind on time or early? Are we on time? 8:30-ish? Alright, so if you love Premiere, stand up and get excited. Woo!
Love Premiere.
Alright now, remain standing if you're an official jewelry lady. Remain standing if you have one Premiere baby.
I love your tail.
Remain standing if you're a builder. Come on up if you're a builder. Okay, if you're a designer. Builders and designers. Alright.
Jessica.
Okay. Alright. Oh, we have someone new. What? No, it's done.
Y'all congratulations.
No, we need to congratulate.
They're on the floor behind you there.
Step up.
Okay?
Stepping right up to the
Nikki's gonna tell you about what happened.
Jessica Brown is our newest designer. And Jessica has one long time coming to be designer, but I'm very proud of her.
So that means don't give up. It can happen even if it's almost 2 years later. So.
And I just have to say, too, let me just say that during her promotion to designer, Jessica, her whole time in Premiere has been our first full-time worker designer who promoted, which is awesome. So, no excuses.
All right. Don't give up.
Oh.
What does it mean to
Tell us, Jessica.
Tell us. Yes, sponsors. 7 new jewelers within a year and had 36 home shows. You get $500 for your certificate. It's really great.
And you get to earn free trips.
Alright, not this year, but anything else? Okay, we are recognizing for the January accounting period. So if you had one home show in the month of January, stand up! It's okay. Remain standing if you had 2 home shows. 3 home shows. Come on up. All right.
High five.
Why do y'all miss one people on that side? Go that way.
Yeah, I'll start this one.
Okay.
All right, I'll start it.
Hold on. Wait, we got Miss Patty.
Oh, sorry.
Coming that way.
Tell us what your
How many home shows?
5.
Woo! Three home shows. Woo! Come here. Y'all stay here. Stay, come here. Come here. No, just you 3. Come here. Jen, come back. Come back.
It's a lot more hectic when he does it.
These ladies right here had 5 home shows last month, so what does that get them in?
Okay. P.S. If you had any home shows or did any kind of retailing in the month of January, did anyone see that email that you were part of the most monumental thing? It's the biggest month Premier's ever had in 30 years.
Biggest January month.
January. Excuse me. My job is just to high five you, not to provide facts. Okay? Alright. If you had a $100 show, meaning it counted as a jewelry show, stand up. One home show, okay? So if you had a $400 show, stand up. Alright, come around.
Come on in.
Here, you were in this one. Let me say ish. Ish. We work on ishes. Bernie doesn't.
All right, how much was your highest show?
663.
Woo! What was your highest show? She doesn't know!
Hey, William. Her highest home show was like 900 and something.
993!
Big deal. Alright, if you had at least one home show and you're a leader, take a step forward. If you had 5 home shows in the month of January, remain standing forward. At least $400 in retail in the month of January. How much? At least 400. Stop, y'all. 800. Individual show.
What?
All right.
My job is
Yeah, that was awesome.
11 something, 8 something, 40. Her highest show was like 12.
Yeah, you know, like going on.
Yours is at 882.
1200.
I'm not recognizing myself. I'm recognizing
Had a
myself.
$1,200 show.
Alright.
We got to eat that week, y'all.
Yes. Oh, that was really exciting. Okay, so now we're doing total retail. Sorry, Pam. Okay, so the whole month of January. If you had $100 in retail, stand up. Alright, if you had $800 in retail, we're going to jump up kind of quick. Alright, come on up. Alright. 800 and up.
All right.
Total retail.
Total retail for the month.
Okay?
You ready? You ready? Who you running for?
Okay, where's Jess Ralph? Who's not
She's
here?
not. No, not here.
Her
Don't
total
count.
retail was
Ah!
$2,500. And Kelly Frazier, I don't know where she is. Who
She's
knows
at a
where
show.
She's having a
God.
party.
Her retail was $1,700. Woo! And Kate Corbet, who you don't know because she lives in
I know her.
Colorado.
Yeah, Jay knows her.
Her total retail was, are y'all ready?
Yeah.
$25,000.
$6,300.
That's like a video of mine out there.
Yeah, we're gonna be Colorado.
All right,
so if you're $1,000 more this month.
Alright, well done, y'all. Okay.
No. If you earn it. Oh, I thought you were trying to be done with it. You said well done.
You driving my boat or you driving the boat?
Oh, well, I'm not gonna drive.
Anyways, alright, so if you accomplished or met any goals, so if you did. What?
Step forward, they cannot hear you.
Can y'all not hear me? Okay. I need a microphone. Alright, if you accomplish the consistency challenge, that's a huge feat in itself. So stand up and just give yourself a pat on the back. Okay. If you achieved any premier achievements like Quick 6, Quick 9, Quick 12, any of the Crown Jewel, Rookie Team, Builder, Designer, stand up.
Come on down. What you got, Jen? Quick 6 and quick 9. Quick 6. Got some jewelry going to Meredith. Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Who is one show? Who's got one show or more going to their double shovel necklace?
Who has a goal that they want that necklace? Yeah. Stand up for that. Get excited. Who wants to sit on Tim Horner's lap? That's brilliant goal.
Just so you guys know, and I'm actually turn off the recording, but that is supposed to be a big deal. Okay,
It is. It's
real big deal. Maybe more
no,
than
not
it.
just sitting in his lap. Okay.
Not Tim Hortons lap. No. If you go to Rally, we know they're doing a. What do they call it? They
It's
call
a
it
dinner. It's a reception.
They call it a reception. I'm tending to think it's going to be much more than that.
Give
So.
everybody that goes $1,000 cash when you get there.
I mean, if you went
Make sure you're there.
And then do Dulce Gabbana gown.
They had a teacup reception like this a couple years ago, and it was really, really awesome. Very intimate.
Okay, so people who
That's
weren't at
nothing.
regional rallies, do they know what you're talking about? The shovel
They
necklace?
should, if they keep up with their.
If they just
what's
read a
going on.
flyer. Does any, raise your hand if you don't know what we're talking about, the shovel necklace.
Really sudden.
Stop it. Everyone knows? Okay, good.
So you're trying to get 30 shows in 6 months, right?
I'm talking about a reception. I'm talking about a reception like
Like Cinderella's ball, y'all.
like I'm just saying we're just gonna be having a lot of fun.
They don't do anything halfway. Okay, so if you sponsored last month, stand up or step forward.
Sponsor, stand up and step forward.
Woo! Yes! Well done, y'all. High five. All right, did I forget anything? No? All right, good job.
Not. Okay, someone in my
Married.
Okay, listen, real quick.
Stop it.
Have everybody seen this really cute jewelry display?
Way.
Nobody can use their mouth today.
Right out there, but it was really good. like Penny Lacey's displays. So if you don't have any money, just go to the Dollar Tree and get yourself a cute little red bag, okay? And hang some earrings on it. Y'all can go buy it.
I just changed my whole display over to that.
Yeah, this is like the cheapest, easiest, cutest way.
awesome.
It gives
Easy
you
to
height
carry.
on the table, but they fold flat. And so I've been using these whenever I'm done. At a party, I just drop everything right in here so that you know where you want it. And then I just slide this on the side of my jewelry bag. So I just have 3 of these on my table, like pink, one striped like this. Super cute, but it just gives you some variety and some like height and depth and different.
Something different. Out of the box. Into the bag.
Okay. Okay. So it's 8:00 something. We're gonna end at 8:30. There's something else really big that we're supposed to do. You know, God would have it that this is my month for training, and I do not know where my brain is like the past 72 hours. So, but I'm here, dressed in red. I thought it was March, but it wasn't. So, oh man, okay. So, what? Actually, okay, so instead of, normally for training, I know we talked about this last time, but I kind of want to like let you know again. Training is starting at 6:30. Everybody shake their head. Not 6, 6:30 here. There will be an OP breakaway during training. Normally, this month is different just because we were talking about taxes. There will also be a new jewelry reception. That will start next month as well. So if you are a new jeweler tonight, then you'll be joining either Lacey or myself or Steph or one of the Jessica or Nikki or one of the new designers. Like Jessica. At a new jewelry reception that will just kind of share the heart of Premier and the super, super important things that we want you to understand about who we are as a company and why we're here. And so that will happen for about 25 minutes during the first part of training, every single training. And so if you missed it this month, sorry, it will happen next month, okay? And tonight, for those of you that came, has everybody heard of the opportunity of Premier before? Sort of? Okay, so I'm just going to share with you really quickly. I know a lot of times, especially as new jewelers, or even if you've been in for a while, it's really intimidating to be able to share what Premier is about, because you want to have this thing that I hate, actually. This thing right here. And you want to like go by the pages and make sure that you're saying everything right and getting all the details in. I don't ever use this thing.
What's that picture on the back?
Oh my gosh. Some really, really cute Rockstars.
Yeah. Woo!
And so I'm just going to share with you, you probably have heard this before, but I really, really encourage you, if you want to start sponsoring in this business, that you make it to as many opportunity presentations, which is what OP stands for, as many opportunity presentations as you possibly can. That means if we're having one here, which that doesn't happen anymore, you're not going to leave training, but if we have something like a fun to share, even if you don't have a guest, come listen to Lacey or whoever has the fun to share. Listen to them talk about Premier. When I was a new jeweler, I went to OPs in Ocala and I listened to them online and I got on calls and because I wanted the information for this company just to kind of roll off of my tongue and be able to share it with whoever asked. And so that helps you grow in your confidence, and so really, really plug into as many OPs as you can. So I'm just going to share with you really quickly. If I was just sitting at Starbucks with a friend, or maybe a girlfriend pops over to your house, you're having a play date, and she starts talking to you about Premier, and you're like, has that ever happened to anybody? You're at the park, and you're like, oh my gosh, where do I say? Like, I can't give this 30-minute presentation, but like, I wanted to know about Premier, but what do I say? Okay, so I'm just going to share with you, if you want to take notes, you can. I'm just going to share with you what I would say, so that you hit kind of the bullet points of Premier. Hey! She thought it was March, too. I didn't wear red either. Okay, good. Okay, so it's 2 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, so the first thing you want to focus on is how do you make money in Premier? Okay, Okay? And so how do you make money in Premier? There's 2 ways that you make money in Premier. The first one is through home shows or parties or what do you want to call them? Okay, so jewelry parties. You make money there. You make 50% of everything you sell, whether it's at a jewelry party or through a catalog sale or off your neck at the grocery store. Second way you make money in Premier is you make 10% commission on 3 levels deep. That means the first level of people that you sponsor, the second level of people that they sponsor, and the third level of people that they sponsor. Got it? Okay? And so 3 levels deep, 10% commission from day 1, whether you sponsor 1 person or 100. Okay? That's not the norm in most direct sales companies. Most direct sales companies, you make a small percentage, like maybe 3 or 4 on your first level, and then it will decrease as you go down to your second and third levels. That's because your second and third levels are usually your biggest levels. Okay? And so they kind of cheat you, but Premier is very generous because they're a debt-free company, and they want to serve you and your customers, and so they will take care of you, and they will give you 2% day 1, 3 levels deep. Okay? So that's the first 2 ways you make money: 50%, 10%. Okay? The second 2 is 2 things that will continue to grow your business. One is our generous hostess plan. Your hostesses will get 30% of their retail sales at their jewelry party back in free jewelry. They'll pay a $4 flat shipping plus the tax, because that goes to Uncle Sam. It doesn't go to you, the jeweler. And they get 30% of their total sales back in free jewelry. Okay? They also get to shop at 50% off for 8 items. Super generous. If you've ever been a hostess for another direct sales company, there's a lot of them that I love, but you'll know that a lot of times you can pick off of, like, you can shop from this one page and you can buy your pieces for a discount. Okay? That's not how it happens in Premier. They're very generous, and they give that to you 30%, whether you have a show that's $100 or $1,000. Okay? So that's the generous hostess plan. Also the golden guarantee. That's the second 2. So the golden guarantee, just simply explain, it's a guarantee that covers all manufacturing defects on every piece that's purchased from Premier Designs. Even if it's not purchased from you, it was purchased from another jewelry lady, you can help them get that replaced or exchanged or replaced at Premier. Okay? Try not to say,
don't oversell
what word do I hate?
Don't oversell it.
Return.
Return. Yeah. Oh God. Like it's like nails on a chalkboard. It's not a return exchange because we don't do returns. It's a replacement, which is awesome because they're not going to fix your piece of jewelry if it breaks, or if it's broken or the manufacturing defect. They're just going to give you a brand new piece. Okay. So it's really a defect guarantee. It's not a lifetime guarantee. This isn't meant to be heirloom jewelry. You're not going to pass it down to your great granddaughter. Okay. Although I've seen some Premier jewelry that has lasted a really long time. But this is meant to be worn and loved, and when it wears out and it has normal wear and tear, then you're just going to have a jewelry party and get some more for free. Okay? So your golden guarantee and your hostess benefits, that's the second 2 that's going to keep your business moving and growing. Okay?
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
That is kind of sticky, that whole, like, you've had that watch for 10 years, probably is past that. How do you appropriately say, this isn't a lifetime guarantee, I'm not sending that back?
Sure. Okay, so it's a great question because we always want to do 2 things. One, what is right, WIR, and what is best for Premier, WBP. So we always want to be thinking about that for us and for Premier as a customer or as a company, because if we're always sending back jewelry that actually doesn't fall under the golden guarantee, and you know that, then you're really doing a disservice to this company, because they are super, super generous. And so they expect you to be on the front lines receiving those replacements and exchanges. And so if someone came up to me, usually this happens at a jewelry party. Anybody ever had that happen at a jewelry party?
Yeah.
And they pull out this bag of jewelry.
That was Pete in a party. Pete that had Premier Gold.
Awesome! You're like, I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Hold on to it. That's usually what I say. So if somebody comes up to you with it, I'm like, I would love to take care of that for you, but just hold on to it because I'm actually going to get to that under Golden Guarantee tonight. And they're like, okay. So whenever I talk about the gold, first of all, at the party, I try to, if this happens at a party, I try to talk about it in the show. And I say there's also something called the oops guarantee. So this is like if you are wearing your necklace and you bend over in the kitchen while you're cooking dinner and you stand up and you catch it on the side of the counter and it busts into like 16 pieces. That is not a manufacturing defect. That is user error. And so that's not covered under the Golden Guarantee, but you can still call your jewelry lady. I will help you replace that. You can buy it back at cost. My cost, which is 50%. Okay, so if that doesn't, and then I always say too, which you should always say this, I didn't used to say this, but I say it now, the majority of manufacturing defects do occur in the first 60 days of purchase. And that is true. If a stone is going to fall out of your bracelet or your watch or your whatever, your lobster clasp is going to break, if there is something that's a defect on a piece of jewelry that you have, if the hinge is loose or broken, those things normally happen within the first 60 days of purchase.
Something that I've started saying, Christy, that has really helped because I think people can visualize this. I say that it's not fine jewelry, right? It is good quality. I said, but put it on a level of going to Macy's and buying a leather purse or a pair of leather shoes, okay? It's quality material. But you wear those shoes for 6 months to a year, it's going to look like you wore those shoes. Would you ever dream of walking up to the return counter in Macy's and saying, I've worn these for 12 months now and it looks like it, I'd like a new pair, thank you. No, and if you can put, it's still good quality leather. There was nothing wrong with the product. They just used it. And now if they want one that looks like they haven't used it, they need to buy it again from Macy's. It's the same thing.
Absolutely. Such a great illustration. So if that doesn't work because maybe it's somebody that has just called you or is finding you randomly on the internet, or something like that.
And you can fix a lot
Okay,
of things.
or it's your aunt, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're a jeweler now. I have this watch that I bought 10 years ago. Okay, so you just kindly say, I always start off with, I would love to take care of that for you. Because I pride myself on excellent customer service. And so I would love to take care of that for you. Let me take a look at it. Okay. And actually I have an email that I sent to Lacey last year. I can forward to her and she can, or I can like post it on the, because I had to carefully word some things for a customer. Because she had like 12 pieces of jewelry that she gave me. And I was like, gosh. It was a brand new customer. Okay, so, but anyways, we talked about wear and tear. Just like Cheryl did, there are things that are normal wear and tear, and those unfortunately aren't covered under the Golden Guarantee. But I'd love to help you if I can maybe fix your watch for you, or polish it up, because sometimes just cleaning their jewelry, you guys, really helps. So take it from them, is my first thing. If you don't know what to say, if someone comes up to you at a party or somewhere else, like at the park, just take it from them first and say, let me just take a look at this when I get home and see what I can do with it. Okay? If you're like really uncomfortable about saying, this is the Golden Guarantee. And then just be honest with them, because I think people really value honesty. And so if you're just like, I'm really sorry, I wish that I could fix, or I wish I could, take care of this for you, but it doesn't fall under the Golden Guarantee because it's just normal wear and tear. Usually people are pretty understanding. If they're not, they can call Premier. Okay? They're really.
But then you turn that into what?
Then I can help you get a brand new one at your own jewelry party. So just invite a couple of friends over and we'll just put the jewelry out and you can pick one of our brand new watches for free. And they'll be like, okay. Or they don't want to be your friend. So it's okay. Whatever. Okay, so the first two were what? How you make money, which is 50 and 10. The second are ways to grow your business, which were jewelry shows and that's not what I said. Yeah, hostess benefits and okay. What was my third?
2 ways to invest.
Oh my gosh, 2 ways to get started in Premier. See, this is why you need a team. Okay. So 2 ways to get started. So the 2 ways to get started are, one, you can just become a jewelry lady for $3.95. That covers all of your jewelry lady business supplies, like catalogs and receipts, and gives you access to Premier's awesome customer service, and it pretty much is your jewelry lady license for 12 months. If people want to know lots of details, you can talk to them about that later, but pretty much it says, like, you can be a jewelry lady for 1 full year. With no quotas and no minimums, and it's really awesome. Okay, so that's the $3.95. Now, the second way is you can purchase a kit or a boutique. Okay, and so the jewelry boutique, which is really incredible. Who has bought one of those in the past few months? Okay. That changes out about every 3 months because they want to keep that updated with current jewelry. And so they're always updating that with the top sellers and to give you a variety of pieces. It comes with a tablecloth and neck stands and trays and a bag. Pretty much everything you need to have a jewelry show in a jewelry store at someone's kitchen table. Okay? And that is $475.
The special right now.
The special right now is amazing. So raise your hand if you're not a jewelry lady yet. Okay, so I wish I wasn't a jewelry lady yet because this is really amazing. So Premier's offering, I thought, was it up here?
At one point it was.
So it's pretty much Premier's offering you as a jewelry lady the opportunity to get started in Premier right now for only like $95. I'm going to tell you how to do that.
You passed it.
Are we on the
Superstar.
Stop. Okay, so if you just get started at $395 and you have 6 shows within the first 45 days from the day of your training show, guess what Premier is going to give you? First, they're going to give you $200 in free jewelry. Okay, $200 in free jewelry plus $100 in cash. Back to you, the jeweler.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
What?
It doesn't
Can I
stop there.
unsign and resign?
Okay. That's right. Who else should I sponsor tonight? Okay, so if you do your quick start 9, which is another 3 shows on top of those 6, so 3 more shows within the first 60 days from the day of your training show. So you have 2 weeks pretty much to do 3 parties. Then Premier is going to give you another $100 in jewelry plus another $100 in cash. Yes.
You're saying $100 or $200 in jewelry, is that the catalog retail price?
Correct. Yes. Whenever we that's a great question, because whenever we talk about a jewelry certificate from the company, it will always 100% of the time be in a retail value. Okay? Great question. And then you have another 30 days for a total of 90 days to hold a total of 12 shows. Premier is going to give you another $100 back in cash and another $100 in free jewelry. So if you complete those 12 shows in your first 90 days from the date of your training show, then you're going to end up with $400 in free jewelry and $300 in cold hard cash, which is insane. Because you're pretty much getting started for $95 for a jewelry lady license for a year, plus $400 in jewelry. So pretty much it's a no-brainer if you're not a jewelry lady tonight. No. And so, what does that say?
So, you know how quick start 6, 9, 12 have to be consecutive. This is not like that.
Correct.
So if you for some reason you don't qualify, you don't reach the first, you can still get the second and the third, or however. Now, quick start is, if you don't get 6, you're not eligible for 9 or 12. But for this, if you do the however many shows it is. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. If you do 9 in 60 days instead of 6 in 40, but you miss the 6 in 45 days, you still qualify for $100. Paula, I'm not taking over.
Cheryl is. What am I doing? My throat hurts and y'all do not want to talk to me. I mean, hear from me, whatever I'm saying. Cheryl is going to do prayer requests real quick because we have 5 minutes left.
Okay.
So I'm going to be respectful of everybody's time.
The end of the OP means just sign it.
Hey, that ends though February 28th. So you want to do it like now. I'm telling you, $300. It's like joining Premier for $95. But that's insane. Oh yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Challenge, they did add a little clarification here.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, they added a level.
Well, I mean, it was right. So now instead of, now you are able to get, if you do 5 jewelry shows a month for 3 of the 6 months, and sponsor 7 new jewelers, you'll get a half line of jewelry.
Which means also $500 for designer circle, y'all. $500 in free jewelry.
And that's like $3,500 value. I mean, it's crazy. Also, this is what I love about the consistency challenge too. Let me just stand up.
Yeah.
Is that raise your hand if you're a full-time worker in here. Look at this. It is very hard sometimes with what's going on in your life and your full-time job to be able to do 5 jewelry shows a month alongside everything else going into your life, right? So this is why I love this challenge, is because Premier has thought about you. And they said, listen, if you can't do it full-time, it's A-okay. Because you could do just 3 months. And so you could take 3 months out of these next 6 that are a little less hectic for you in your work life, in your school life, in your home life, like whatever, and work a little harder those months to get a quarter line of jewelry. And if you do that alongside your full-time job and sponsor 7, they're upping it to a half line of jewelry. So I want you to realize that it's totally doable for you. This is not, I love, love, love that there are levels to achieve. So those of us who do Premier full-time can achieve the full-time level. Those of you who don't do it full-time, it's okay, and you still get a whole crap load of jewelry. Okay, so it's huge and it's so beneficial to you. So I want you to know that that is attainable alongside a busy schedule. Okay, so that's huge, and Premier is very generous for putting that those levels in there for you. So take advantage of that. It's huge. That's all I'm saying tonight.
Okay. Take it away, Cheryl. Okay. So you want me to say something other than just take prayer requests?
Yes.
All right.
What is God speaking
Lacey's
to you,
getting
Cheryl?
worse. Used to be she'd give me about 4 hours to know I had to say something. Today I got 3 minutes.
That was really Christy.
However, like God always
Spirit
works.
left me.
He has been working in my heart a lot the last month. I've actually been struggling with some illnesses since the fall. It's kind of put a damper in my Premier business. But he keeps bringing something back to me from lots of different directions. Devotionals I'm reading, things that are happening at church, and just words being spoken. And one of the things that he's really trying to teach me right now is that our world is overwhelming. There are way too many things competing for our attention. And that's true for everybody, but I'm sorry, but if you're a woman and you're a mom on top of it, it gets overwhelming, okay? And I've been going back and rereading this 3-day devotional that struck me in the fall, and I keep going back to it because I feel like he hasn't really shown me everything about it yet. And it talked about overwhelming fatigue. And it talked about the need to be putting him as the first priority in our life. That if you can't find the time in your world to get some quiet time with God, you have way too much going on in your life. Because all of that other stuff is going to feel overwhelming if you can't put that as your first rock. You know that illustration about the biggest rock in the vase and all the other small ones, and then you can fit everything, but if the biggest rock has to go last, it doesn't fit anymore. And that's where I'm at. I've been totally unbalanced, totally not doing what I need it to do. But I know that. And that's the key. I know that, and I'm seeking and I'm searching. And he's really been speaking to me about figuring out what he has for me. Because there are lots of good things in my life. And if I look at each and every one of them, I can see that he has the capability of using me in every one of those areas. But I have to find out which one he's asking me to pursue. Because if not, my husband and my children get my leftovers. So I just encourage you to do that as well. If you seek him and if you're praying and looking for it, he will, even if it takes a little longer than you want it to, he will show you which path he expects you to be on. And when you walk in that path, you'll not be overwhelmed and fatigued. You will have his energy to do what he wants you to do. I'm not saying you won't have a day that you feel like you're overwhelmed and fatigued, but your whole life won't be marked by it. Okay. So,
very good, girl.
That's my word. So praise Jesus. Okay, let's pray. We usually kind of stand and try to hold hands. I don't know if it's flu season and you want to elbow bump.
We do the lock elbows. Let's do one of these.
Curtsy.
I'm not touching Jeremy over there. Christy. Prizes and that's dress room.
Before I just jump in, does anybody want to pray tonight?
I will.
Where'd that come from? Oh, all right.
Okay.
Pray.
Lord, I just come to you tonight in appreciation for all that you do for each of us and for each and every person that's in this room. And I just ask, I know that you heard every single one of the prayer requests that were said and those that were not said. And I know that you will handle each and every one of them. And I am so grateful for every single praise that was shared. And it's amazing to see how your hand is working even when we don't see it. And Lord, I just ask you to keep your hand on each and every person in this room and those that were not able to make it, and bring us back next month safe and sound and excited to serve you again. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Hold on. Prizes.
Hold on!
A part of the food crew.
Food crew, awesome job, by the way.
I will let you know when
All right, what are we got? That's a big surprise. Who wants $100 for free jewelry? So we have the ticket for $100 for free jewelry. If you don't know the rules, you have to be standing to win. All right, here we go. 4, 3, 1, 3, 4.
Oh wait, I still got this.
4. Meant to be. Make addition. Alright, what do we got? We got cobalt blue. What's that called? What are we giving away? We're not giving away meant to be? Oh, it's old. What's the new?
It's new.
It's newish.
This is so pretty. It's new. It's a good spring. If you don't have this, you have a
That's not new.
It is a new necklace.
It has lots
in the current line.
Alright, here we go. Stand up.
What an idiot.
4,
Who married him?
3,
Look what it does.
1. I know what it does. It's a bracelet. 3, 8, 0, 4, 3, 1, 3, 8, 0. Alright, what else we got?
Used to be new.
What else we got?
So Amber. Hey, the box is out there, baby.
Alright, back to catalogs.
It's a purple catalog.
You're never gonna see one.
What's the one I drew out? I drew out the pink one last time. Alright, who wants a pack of catalogs?
We do.
That's how you make money, people. Catalogs. Look at that excited. Alright, here we go. 4, 3, 1, 3, 7, 6.
Woo!
Me again.
She doesn't win, she wants standing.
Whatever.
Alright.
Winner.
If you think you're cute and you're dressed in red, get up here. Basically dressed in red, get up here.
Pretty much the whole road.
That wasn't a joke. Come on, Jim. Alright. Yeah, it's called Come-Ball costume. Alright. Here's what you do. Whoever you like, you cheer loudest for them and they win something, something, something. Alright?
What are we doing?
Go, Stacy, go, Stacy.
Where? Cheer loud! Cheer loud! You're supposed to be doing it. I don't do that. Son! Alright.
cute.
Oh, I don't think I'm very cute either, but.
Ready?
Break.
If you love this outfit, if you love this one, oh, and her hand, oh yes.
I love the dancing.
Yeah, bring it.
Yes.
Not Dave. My friend Jenny. You love Jenny. Cardigan. Everyone needs a red cardigan. Yes. Ready? Nails. Her nails. They do that thing. Do that thing.
Those jamberries?
The Pee Wee Herman hat.
I cheated. I went to Walgreens because I forgot.
Y'all, and look
You
at
write
this
that off on
baby.
your taxes?
Look at stunning.
Oh, this is my alter ego. That fair skin and black hair, like a vampire.
We are couples costume.
All right, couples get.
And the shoes.
Oh, yeah. The red shoes.
Clap for her to be able to walk smart.
She's a doctor. Sugar mama.
Y'all look at this.
I'm 5 months old. I'm really tired. Take a minute.
Get out here. Get out here.
Was it the one in that big turkey?
Let's see. What and look at her hair. Oh, we have to do this.
Cheater!
Unfair advantage.
Unfair advantage. When's the brown month?
And now she has a red face too.
We're embarrassed for like Irish people that drink too much.
Y'all, that's awesome.
Okay, so I think the last one is here. Here. Y'all come here. We gotta do a shout out. Come here. Which one's?
There was nobody cheering for me.
Oh,
Like, left.
right.
I was.
I was interested to do these next.
Baby bone.
Okay. So we're gonna do one last. Oh, we love y'all.
Bye bye
Okay.
bye bye.
We got another
mention, right? That's right.
Yeah, super hot mama and her. And then mama with baby.
I think it was
Baby's
mama.
always gonna win.
I think it was mama.
Yeah, mama.
And she's having a girl.
It is a girl. 'Cause I've already told her it's a girl, but she's gonna find it out. And I was like, how